Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my favorite home decor Amazon finds. It's definitely taken me a good while to build up this list, and I wasn't building up this list intentionally. I just purchased from Amazon a good bit, and because it's so frequent I feel like I don't really sit down to ever share some of the finds for home decor that I come across on Amazon. So that is what we're going to be doing in this video. So I have 10 finds that I want to share with you guys, and without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the video. First up, books. So I have purchased 2 sets of books from Amazon. One stack of books was really just purchased for decor. I have no real aspirations of actually reading the books. I do plan to flip through the books and whatnot, but honestly, home decor books aren't really books that I navigate towards. I really like books about people and their experiences and their lives and stuff like that. That's kind of the book category that I gravitate towards, but I purchased them because they were all super aesthetically pleasing, and I was thinking I could use them throughout the house in different areas. I don't plan on having a whole bunch of books because I don't have a whole big house or a whole bunch of space that I need to fill with books, but I did want to and do want to have some books in some of the main areas of the home. So the books that you are looking at now are on the main level, and once we get our living room situation, I'll probably throw some books in there too, maybe on a shelf somewhere. I don't really know if I'm going to do the coffee table situation because I like for areas, if it's a functional area, I feel like it needs to be functional. If it's a decorative area, then I feel like it needs to be decorative. So I don't really see me putting books on the coffee table, but it could be a thing. If I have like a couple of tiers, I could decorate one tier and then like the bottom and then the top be functional. So I can't report on the actual quality of the books as far as like the inside and what they're about, but they are beautiful, and if you are in need of some decorative books, then I suggest checking out these books. So for the other books that I've purchased, these are books that I actually plan to read. My husband and I have already begun reading both of the books. So we have Michelle Obama's book and we have Barack Obama's book, and with the covers on they look good, but if you take the covers off, I feel like they look even better and they give even more of like a neutral type of vibe. So definitely after we're finished reading the books, I do plan to style them as well, but we definitely didn't purchase them because they were aesthetically pleasing, mainly so that we could read them because we want to start reading more. But shout out to the Obamas because they are also, you know, aesthetically pleasing and can be a decorative element. Next up, I purchased these vases. They are a decent size. I just want to let you know that to check out the dimensions because they definitely probably aren't as big as they may appear in person. Like, that's not their actual size. They're definitely pretty small in comparison to some of my larger vases that I have. Those are like my normal, so I consider those to be a normal size, so these would look small in comparison to them. But I love the vases. I love how they add a pop of color. They are quite warm, so they just give an area some warmth, and you can do that in a very subtle way. I find these vases to be aesthetically pleasing. You can pop in some greenery or some type of flowers or something like that if you choose. I'm just kind of leaving mine styled the way that they are, and I love styling them on top of the books just to give them a little more height. I am told that decorating in groups of 3 is where it's at and what should be done, but I pretty much like being a rebel, so I tried to separate them, but it just felt like I was separating a sibling group or a best friend group, and it just looked like they were missing one another, so I just kept them together and they look best that way in my opinion. Next up, we have these mason jars, and we're going to talk about the mason jars, the lids, and the straws. Technically, they're all 3 different Amazon finds, but they kind of all work together for the greater good of my enjoyment and my own personal luxury. So we're just going to talk about them all together. So these mason jars are wide mouth mason jars. By the way, I'll have them linked down below, but just know that they are wide mouth. And these lids are bamboo lids. They look so cool, and they actually fit really well on top of the mason jars. I do want to let you know that you can easily remove the lids. These aren't lids like if you're thinking you're going to be able to put these lids on and they're going to be like super tight and provide a lot of suction and they're not going to move around whatsoever. That is not the case. They can twist and you can easily remove them. It's going to be super easy. So for which case you do not ever want to pick these up by the lid or anywhere near the lid. You want to pick these up from, you know, the bottom of the mason jar or somewhere around the middle. But the bamboo lids do have a straw opening, and so I picked up these glass straws and they give a really cute vibe. You could also do metal. I'm a person who's like looking to try to save the earth a little bit. Like with every little step that I take, I feel like I'll be there in like 10 years. But before this, I was using metal straws, but I did see the glass straws, or I've been seeing those, so I wanted to try these. And these straws are actually wide as well. So just FYI, you may put a little 16-ounce can or what have you in there and suck it down in seconds. That's because the straws are relatively wide, and so therefore you're probably going to be drinking more than what you thought you were. That's my experience anyway, because I was like, I feel like I wouldn't have drank this. Like if this were still in a can, I definitely wouldn't have finished this during one sitting. So what's going on here? And I think that's what it is. And I think it's because the mouths of the straws are so large, which is kind of cool because it is aesthetically pleasing and it does provide a little more luxury as you're sipping on whatever it is you're sipping on. Next up, we have these dinner napkins. I did not purchase these because I was looking for some type of high quality dinner napkins for a dinner that I was going to be, you know, serving or hosting or anything like that. I just wanted something to, again, help me cut back on waste, i.e. paper towel waste in this particular situation. These have been working well. I wash them in the washing machine with bleach, sometimes with other hand towels or, you know, other items, and they still hold up quite well. What I've learned from this experience, honestly, is that I feel like a lot of us just kind of reach for a paper towel even though we really don't even need it. I feel like a lot of us just have a habit of grabbing them. So we'll grab a dinner napkin, but then we may not even use it, which is great because we can just leave it for our next meal or put it back or something like that. But again, I'm trying to cut back on waste, so do not purchase these if you're looking for something fancy, just if you're trying to also cut back on waste or if this quality will work for you. Next up, we have these curtains. They are a relatively decent quality. I was really just looking for some white curtains that were the length that I needed, that weren't super sheer, but would let some light come in. And so I absolutely love these. I feel like they're smack dab in the middle of like really cheap, inexpensive curtains, mainly heavy on the cheap, and like really luxurious curtains. That's not what I was going for. I wasn't spending hundreds or anything like that on curtains. I also wasn't going to buy some sheer panels for $2 a piece or whatever. So I feel like these are giving exactly what they need to give. Next up, we have the curtain rods. I usually really don't like going to Amazon to purchase everything. Like, that's not my vibe. I really like going in stores and touching and seeing and being able to go in even like more local stores and smaller stores and being able to purchase things from smaller business owners and whatnot. I feel like Amazon's good on the money. Walmart is too. But honestly, it was just really difficult to find some curtain rods that I really liked. And so I was just kind of over it. So I found some on Amazon and I absolutely love these. They're good quality. And I mean, I really don't have a lot to say about them other than they look really good and I love them. While I'm on the topic, I do want to mention the hooks. I got those off Amazon as well, just because I noticed that they, I think like people had purchased those together, the rods and the hooks. So that let me know that they matched well, which is obviously what I was going for. So I love these. I really love having the hooks on really all of our panels because it makes it easy to remove them and to wash them or to steam them or iron them or to change them out, all of that. So I really love having them. And of course, with these hooks, it allows for my curtains to kind of like brush the floor, which is the look that I typically go for, if not a kiss. So I really love these hooks and they can be found on Amazon as well. Next up, we have my pride and joy, my vacuum cleaner. I've been using this for months. I absolutely love it. I do not recommend using this for high pile carpets or any kind of high pile anything, but if you have any kind of hard surfaces for a floor like tile, luxury vinyl, hardwood, or even like a low pile rug, I do recommend this vacuum cleaner. It actually has a mop attachment, which is kind of like a microfiber towel situation. So like when you vacuum, it kind of just mops as well, but I don't really like that because it doesn't really work. I mean, it's good if you're in a pinch, like sometimes when our puppy comes in and it's been raining outside and we didn't wipe her feet as well as we thought we did, I can, you know, do the vacuum and mop situation. But otherwise, I wouldn't buy this vacuum cleaner because it has a mop attachment for sure. But it does have a lot of other attachments. It has a crevice tool and like an upholstery tool, all sorts of other things. I love it. I rarely have to use the max power. If I do use the max power, I know I'm only going to get like a good 8 minutes out of the vacuum cleaner. But if I don't use max, I can get like a good 30 minutes, maybe even a little longer, which I rarely vacuum for 30 minutes. So normally I can use it, you know, multiple days without having to charge it. Okay, so those are a good 10 items that I've been loving from Amazon. I do have more that I would like to share, but I really just want to experience them more a little longer. I'm happy to always share lots and lots of things, but I don't really want to just share stuff all willy-nilly that I haven't really tried for a good while, especially like the vacuum cleaner. So I do have more items that I wish to share in the future. Maybe I can come back in a couple of months to share with you guys how these other items have been holding up. So if that's something that you're interested in, let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.